Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. This video is not so much about the yoga, but about the exercises that help the yoga. So we won't do like a shavasana and all that gooey fun stuff. In this one, it's just quick and dirty. Okay, so we're gonna get started. I got my Trisha timer. First exercise, standing up. You can have the feet a little bit apart if you like, just standing so you feel secure, right? Maybe that's even a little bit wider. Once you're standing, all we do is rise up onto the balls of the feet and then lower like a little bit jarring, okay? Like not a lot of it, but like just so that you can feel a little bit of a bouncing sensation, okay? So up and drop, up and drop, up and drop. And just keep going at your own pace and keep going. Why are we doing this, Carla? Well, this I almost go out of the camera each time I go up. That's funny. So this video is all about the legs and glutes. And this, if you haven't noticed already, you might be like, just kidding, I don't have that question anymore. You might start to feel your calves. If not by now, then it'll be very, very soon. So we rise up and we drop down. It's for the calves. We don't do a lot of strength exercises for the calves in yoga, specifically targeting them. Every pose that we do, however, your calves are working to keep you balanced. Even when you're on 2 feet, your calves do play a part in that. If you are gently scooping the belly in, not a lot, don't worry about it, but right now I feel the entire backs of my legs all the way up to my glutes. So I feel everything, not just the calves. And that is a huge benefit. Reason number 2 why we do this exercise is it's really good for the lymphatic system. So if you're not familiar with the lymphatic system, it is what helps take away, if you ever feel like you're just kind of puffy and you're retaining water, the lymphatic system takes water that isn't in the spaces that it's supposed to be. We want to stay hydrated so that our cells absorb the water. I'm not going to cut and retake this because I don't want to do this again. So the lymphatic system, it just gives it a little bit of a jolt, helps the fluid drain properly, okay? So really good for you. The lymphatic system is really helpful with our immune system. So it's a really good exercise to do kind of cold and flu season, right? As we're getting ready for fall, that kind of thing. Oh, we're done. Okay, I'm now going to change the camera angle. I'll be right back. Okay, so come to a seated position in like a pinwheel shape with your legs. If I'm mirroring you, have your left leg here and your right leg behind you. Okay, so for this one, lean over onto the left hand, pick up your right leg, and then I'm going to start a timer. It's as if you've got a button behind you and you're just trying to tap that button repeatedly. So you're only moving like 1 inch. You tap, 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 keep going. If this is too hard, you can lean way over onto your elbow or even all the way down to the floor. If you're like, this is no problem, Carla, I work on my glutes every day, then that's no problem. I have an exercise for you too. Lift completely up, no hands, okay? It's infinitely more challenging with no hands. And when you have the no hand situation, you're also working this muscle here, the muffin top muscle, that one. So keep going. This is one of those ones I tend to stare at the timer, like as if the granules of salt will go faster if I stare at it. Just like a pot of water also boils faster when you watch it, I've heard. So keep going. Sometimes you may want to start sitting upright, and then as the timer goes on and on, you may be like, okay, just gonna lay down a little bit, and that's okay too. Or you might feel you get more energy throughout and want to shift a little bit. Either way, try to think about we have another side. So whatever variation you do on the first side, it's nice to be balanced on the second side. So if you start up high and then go a little bit lower, try to repeat that on the second side. Keep going. Almost done though. Little taps. And we're done. Other side. I like to take a second though, before you go into that other side, just bring the feet forward and just for a few moments, little forward folds. Remember not to pull the flesh away, but be completely on the squish, little forward fold, just feeling a gentle stretch. Mostly this is just a procrastination technique so that we can have a second to recover before the second side. Here we go, pinwheel on the second side. Let's just get her done. Okay, I'm flipping the timer. Lift that left leg up and then little taps like there's a button behind you. And keep going. If you do happen to notice that your one side is stronger than the other side, and this side just can't keep up to what you were doing on the first side, don't worry too much about that. If you repeat this video, things will even out. It'll just be harder on one side than the other. Keep going. For me, this side feels a little bit heavier, so I kind of need to just focus. Just going to focus while I watch the timer. Almost done. We're in the home stretch now. Also remember to breathe. Oxygen is important. For 3, 2, and 1, relax. Heading into our procrastination pose, also known as a forward fold. Little bit of a stretch. And for the next one, it's nice to have a blanket, unless you're on carpet. For me, the outside of my hip tends to feel like it needs a little bit of squish. So laying on one side, I'm sort of mirroring you, so you would be maybe on your right hip if we're all facing this way. Now your bottom leg extends straight so that you're in one straight line. The top leg goes in front. I didn't say this wouldn't be awkward. From here, what we do is we lift that bottom leg up and up and up. Keep going. That's it. I actually really, really like this one. It's hard, kind of, but it's a really good one to help our yoga practice too. If you do have a yoga practice, it helps poses like, for instance, Warrior 3. If you're standing on one leg and you've got your other leg behind you, all of these exercises that we're doing today make, first of all, just standing on one leg and sort of teeter-tottering over, that's actually hard. I know there's a lot of yogis that just do that pose every day, but if you've never done that pose before, you are using your hips in a way that they don't normally work in a normal day. So this in itself just helps the strength to get into poses like that. But also because most of us have more strength on the outside of the leg than the inside of the leg, so that causes imbalance. And when you go into something like Warrior 3 and your leg is behind you, it's supposed to be straight behind you, but oftentimes that leg kind of wanders out to the side because we don't have that inseam of the leg strength to keep it in line. When you have an imbalance, the leg likes to drift over to towards the side that's stronger, right? The stronger part of the leg draws it to the stronger side. Look at that, we're already almost done. I've been yammering away that long. So just like 1 inch up and down, just a little up and down. For 3, 2, and 1. Relax. We flip sides. Let's just get her done this time. No procrastination pose. Let's just flip on over. I need my blankies. Partly the blankets are just moral support. It's a good thing. Blankets are good. Here we go. So leaning over on your left side, setting yourself up same as the first side where you've got your bottom leg extended straight behind you. And the top leg is kind of like a kickstand. I like to have it on the grippy part of my mat. Ready? Here we go. So bottom leg lifts up and up and up. And keep going. And you may notice too that you have one leg a little bit stronger than the other. Not a big deal. It all evens out in the end. And breathe. This is one of those poses as well. If you have the I have no space, but if you do need to lay all the way down, that might be easier. I feel like for this one, that doesn't really matter. It's all, one is just as awkward as the other. And if it's not awkward, it's not yoga. It's like my motto. And we're in the home stretch now. I find it actually works the neck muscle too. I do this weird thing where I like hold my head up. It's like killer for the inner thigh, and I'm like, but my head is heavy. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Let's head into the next one where you can still stay on your left hip. This one's for the right leg. And same as always, you can lay all the way down or be all the way up. But what we'll do this time is like have your legs kind of strewn about like you're like a mermaid, okay? Or like chiffon. So bleh, like that. Now you can lift up onto this supporting hand or like I say, down lower. This one's about the top leg. What we want to do is turn it in. So internal rotation. Okay, so not like out, but in, really turning it in. And then we're trying to target the glute, okay? So from here, I'll put my timer on, lift the whole leg straight up. And then it's up and up and up and up, okay? Also kind of works right from the ribs all the way down, but we're really trying to target the glutes. So we don't want to open up and get the quads working. We want to internally rotate, roll it forward, and use the glutes. Keep going. I would tell you a story or something to keep you entertained, but I need to focus. This is hard, but that's why I like videos like this. It's just quick and dirty, just get it all done, right? if you can do it kind of before work or something in the morning, before you're even awake is optimal. Like before your cup of coffee, before your body understands what's happening, get her done. That's what I like to do. One thing too with these exercises is that it's a little bit accumulative. I think that's a word, where we did 2 exercises back, we worked on glutes. So now this one might feel a little bit harder than the first time because we already worked that spot, but just in a slightly different way. And instead of thinking, oh, this is harder, think, this is great. I'm actually benefiting more from this one because your muscles do get stronger when they're fatigued. There's a bit of a tipping point where if you've lost the integrity of the pose or the exercise, then you're not benefiting from it. But if you are feeling fatigued, but you're still doing it properly, that's where the gains happen, right? That's where the strength happens. And look at that, we're already done. Okay, it doesn't have to look pretty. Okay, and if you feel heavier now than when you started, that's a good thing. We're flipping over, means it's working. So leaning over onto the right leg, left crosses over top. Nope, just kidding. What are we doing? We're mermaiding. High. Here we go. Rolling that leg in. I'm so excited, I forgot where we were. So rolling that leg in, and we lift up. And up and up and up. Keep going. It's my heavier leg. So trying not to think that, but thinking it's light. And rolling and rolling and rolling in. And remember to breathe. You can even close your eyes. And breathe. And know that we're almost done. This whole video is almost done. Quick and dirty. Once in a while, it's nice to take a nice deep breath too, just in case. As humans, we tend to hold the breath when we're doing something challenging. So remember to let the breathing happen, nice and free. In the home stretch. Remembering it's almost the end of the whole video. So trying to gather strength and energy for that last little bit. About 10 seconds left. About 5 seconds left. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Last exercise of the whole video. I like to sit up on my blankie for this one. You don't have to, but especially if you have carpet, it's a little bit nicer. So for this one, we'll head into, I'll just face you straight ahead. I'm not using the timer because I don't even know if I could do 2 minutes of this one. We don't need to. Let's do repetitions for this one. We'll do 5 repetitions. You're like, you haven't even told me what it is yet. We're doing boat pose, okay? Everyone loves boats, right? So for this one, scoop the belly in. Really trying to use your pelvic floor if you know what that's all about. If not, you can check out some of my other videos on pelvic floor. Pulling the pelvic floor up, scoop the belly in. If you don't know what that means, just pull the belly in. This is boat pose. If you can, lift the feet up off the floor. If you need a bit more support, you can draw the knees in using the hands behind the upper legs. If you want to go further, release here. Make sure that you are using your core. Pull the belly in and start to straighten through the legs. Maybe they straighten a little bit. Maybe they straighten all the way. For 1, they should be shaking though. 2, point the toes. 3, 4, and 5. This is the best bit. Cross the legs and then lean a little bit forward and place the hands on the floor, kind of like between the hips and the feet, okay? Pull the belly in. This one's called Take It Up Asana. It's not like an official pose, but we pull the belly in, try to get the feet and the hips and everything up off the floor. Mine don't. They feel like they're glued to the floor. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we release. And we repeat the whole thing again, starting with boat pose, okay? So pointing the toes, pull the belly in, extend the legs as much as you want to. For 1, belly pulls in. 2, see if you can lift the heart up to the sky. 3, 4, and 5. Cross your legs the other way. So whatever feels like wrong, and then plant the hands, lifting the hips and everything up off the floor. For 1, belly scoops in even more. 2, it's like your belly is pulling everything off the floor. For 3, 4, 5, release. 1 last time. Boat pose. Belly scoops in, heart lifts up. For 1, pointing the toes. For 2, 3, if you can smile. For 4, and 5. Crossing the legs. Last time, wardrobe adjust. Plant the hands. And we go, lifting up for 1. Belly scoops in. Breathing deep for 2, and 3, 4, 5. And release. And you're done. That's the whole video, the whole conditioning class. You've done amazing. I hope you have a really good rest of your day. I'll see you next time. Namaste.